Nathan, 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 NathanIvey.com. Mr. Ivey know the show must go on. And for Cincinnati. Put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised arms, close this yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlative, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of drippos. Show you where the Brits at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. A hopefully momentous Monday. Good morning to everybody. And my apologies for starting the show a little bit late. I'm still in my feelings. I admit to you, I'm definitely in my feelings. We laid Chairman Mom to rest yesterday, and I'm not one for these human rituals. I'm not one to do things because other people expect me to do it per se, like in that kind of context. And I told my family, for me, our mother has already made that transition. The rituals that we do around like dead bodies or bodies and things like that that's never really been my thing. You know what I'm saying? That's never been my thing. But I did attend my mother's funeral yesterday, and our full family was there. Family came from out of town to be there as well. And it was, again, I don't have a lot of reference point for funerals, but as a funeral go, it was a great service. It was a great service. And it was very emotional. People got up and said things about my mother, including my sibling. I did not end up standing up to say anything, nor did my brothers, which I thought was interesting. A lot of women stood up and said things. The wifey stood up and said some things. It was very, very emotional, as you can imagine. But for me, I was there when she made that transition. I had to make a very difficult decision about that. And so for me, I was there at the most pivotal moment, you know what I'm saying? So the ritual afterward or how they dressed the body, none of that really, I didn't really have a big opinion about any of that, quite honestly. Whatever my siblings and or the larger family thought that she would have wanted was good for me. And I want to say many thanks to my sister Kimberly because she was the go-to person with all of the arrangements. I thought she did a very, very good job. Sometimes you could tell somebody needs to do something. You ever been in a situation like that where you have a very emotional event and you can just tell that somebody needs a certain thing, so you give it to them? And I could feel that with my sister. I thought she did a great job. So thank you so much. And I love you, sis, for everything you did for our mother. And my other sister, I have a sister named Kelly, and she stood up and said some very, very kind words about our mother. And it's very interesting feeling, it's very interesting. I say that a lot about being a human because being a human is nothing more than an experiment, from feeling to feeling. It's just you have to roll with the punches that life gives you. It's very interesting, but I'll just say it again. My mother was she was a great mother to me. I grew up in the era of all these television shows where people are examining the different levels of abuse that they had to deal with. And so living in that era, I've asked myself and kind of think back in my own childhood, in my own life. But I don't have any of that. My mother was a very, very good mother to me. And to the rest of our brothers and sisters, I can honestly say she made a big sacrifice. The biggest issue that my mother had was her choice of men, and then the types of men that she chose to have children with. That was the biggest issue that I saw. And me and my mother had a very adult relationship. I kept it 100 with my mother, and she kept it 100 with me. I told my mother a lot of things that I guess maybe other people might not have, but I'm not one to shy away from the truth. Like whatever the truth is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I've even told my mother about herself. And that's why I tell people, I'm that guy. Like if I can have that kind of relationship with my mother, then there's no woman in the world that I can't speak real to. You know what I'm saying? If it's real, it's real. If it's what happened, if it's the truth, it's the truth. And it don't really matter who it is. But I was taught that way. You know what I'm saying? I was taught to be like that by my mother, my grandparents, because they was real with one another. They was real with me as I grew up. And so I don't really have any regrets at all. Not really. I don't have any regrets. It's that circle of life. On some levels, I guess I value having been there near the very end at the hospital with her. That's something that's very valuable to me. I'll hold on to that. But just a very emotional time. All it does, it just makes me want to just embrace life even more, right? Good morning to you. That's all it does. It just makes me want to embrace life even more, to live life to the absolute fullest. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely to the fullest. That's what I take from it. Give me a thumbs up if we are looking good and sounding good. Good morning to you. Appreciate you. Shout out to Pat. Pat was she showed up for the service. One of the choppers. We have we're related on some levels, so I appreciate her being there and appreciate that, Glenn. Most def. It's just a circle of life, man. I was telling somebody there, and I 100% believe this. Man, listen, my mother is lucky. She's already made that transition. The pain of death or whatever people have fear of, she already went through that. I already went through it. And so did your loved ones, people that you care about. On some levels, they lucky because they ain't got to deal with the pain of life and all these backstabbing God's little selfish ass creatures that we got to share clean water and clean air with. They ain't got to deal with none of that. I don't know what's on the other side. If you believe in like the Christian view, they got it all mapped out. They know everything that's gonna happen. I don't believe none of that. None of these people on earth have any idea what's really on the other side. None. Because you ain't ever been there. You know what I'm saying? If you did and you came back, it's like, can I really trust what you're saying? Or was that just like some kind of delusion? So we have no idea what's waiting for us on the other side. But I tell you one thing, fam, we're gonna find out. That's for certain. 513-873-7134. Greed, jealousy, ego, which has caused more deaths. And I got a smattering of topics to talk about, some local as well, because Cincinnati drivers have lost their damn minds. But we'll get into that. There's also going to be a big press conference from the mayor-elect Avtab Pureval. What is he going to announce? I do not know. I do not know. I love if somebody is going to attend, if they could roll the video. You know what I'm saying? I would love that and kind of be our eyes and ears on the streets. You know what I'm saying? All you got to take is your phone. Where's my phone at? All you need is this right here. All you need is your phone right here. And you can get your journalism on. And if somebody is going to be attending it, I will not be able to attend it. I'll be here with you up until about 10 a.m. this morning. Then let me know. I can be a very valuable space. Jump on board what we're doing here. So that was Sunday, and I did get caught in my feelings. I did weep, I did cry, tear up, however you want to call it. I was cool till they started playing that damn music in there, man. I was cool. They start playing these gospel songs about people leaving. I'm like, oh boy. The tears just start flowing. Then the wifey gets up there and she was talking so real about things that, her relationship with my mother, and it was so emotional. My sister got up there, so emotional, just a very emotional time. I see my brothers, these big burly black men who don't give a damn about anything. They're ready to go to war at any moment, and they in their feelings. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but red eyes in the house. And that's a circle of life. It is what it is. What I would hope is that landscape. what I would hope is that what I would hope is that everybody just live their life to the fullest, man, because you don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of time to F around. You don't got time for that. Live your best life. My mother died in her early 70s. There's no reason why she couldn't have lived longer. My mother did not take care of herself. She tried, but things happen as you get older, hip here, stop working out. Shit, that kind of stuff hit your body differently when you hit your 50s, 60s, 70s. Hit your body differently. But there's no reason why we can't be better. We can exceed what our family did before us and live our best healthy lives. You can do it. Let me write. Grief is different from everyone. I'm just trying something different out here. Let me change this color screen here because that is not for me. That's for the Melanin Insight ladies, lovely ladies of Melanin Insights. Hope you got a chance to check them out on Sunday. Good morning to you. Whoa, here we go. There we go. There we going. I don't know how much I like this view, but I like to switch things up. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do a couple things differently. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'm no. I don't know. Good morning to you. If you want to call into the show this morning, I've got a number. There it is right there, 513-873-7134. It's a magical code that will grant you entry to a wonderful world. It's called the Nathan Ivey Show, where nothing is funnier than truth. Men are allowed to be men, and lames get their planes shot down like John McCain. Now, speaking of men, we got to talk about the men folks a little bit. Remember that dude named Alpo Martinez? Alpo Martinez. He basically, his life or part of his life was featured in a movie called Paid in Full. Paid in Full. Remember that? The rapper known as Cameron portrayed Alpo Martinez, right? Apparently, he killed a lot of people and then got caught with the feds and then started snitching on a lot of people. And he got killed about 2 weeks ago. The rumor on the internet is that it wasn't about him snitching or some long-standing beef, but the rumor is that it was about a woman. Apparently, he was dating a woman in her mid-20s, and her man, baby daddy, boyfriend, whatever, got into his feelings. There was some kind of confrontation, didn't go too well, and that's what led to him being killed. And that's what led to this thought process, like, what has killed more people? Is it greed, jealousy, ego? Because when you talk about a woman, that's just a man's ego. You know what I'm saying? Is a woman worth killing for? A woman is definitely worth dying for. We know that. If she's your woman, if she's your wife or the mother of your children or your sister or your mother or somebody close to you, most definitely. But is a woman worth killing for? And is it really over the woman, or is it about their altercation and somebody's ego got hurt? Da 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 da. I want to talk about that. And also the baby. The irony of this, his rapper name is the baby, but he may not be the best man to have a baby with. You see about this little controversy? These are minor matters compared to other things, but we might find some virtue in it. We might be able to mine for some kind of gold this morning. Yes, apparently he has a 3-month-old with another one with a woman whose name is Danny Lay. I just got hip to her in the last year or so. She's dope. She's dope. She does choreography and does some entertainment type stuff. She's dope. Apparently they have a 3-month-old baby. I don't know what led to the altercation, but it was all over Instagram. Everybody been talking about it. But apparently he kicked her out. He was in the process of kicking her out of, I guess, his apartment. Looks like a nice little spot somewhere in New York or something like that. In the video, she's all in her feelings. She's using the N-word. So I'm going to play it for you, but I want to give you a heads up, extreme language. She's in her feelings using the N-words, N-word this, N-word that, N-word this, N-word that, N-word this, N-word that, because she's in her feelings. As you can imagine, any woman would be. Number one, you got a 3-month-old with this man. And for whatever reason, he's making you leave the place and that you're in with your 3-month-old baby, right? And even though she might have somewhere to go, that's got to hit you in the stomach. You having a baby, you have a child with this man, and he don't care nothing more about you. He's gonna have you and your child pack up and leave. That's foreshadowing. That's foreshadowing like a mofo. Like if you starting right there at 3 months, who knows where you're gonna be in a year and 3 months, 15 months. Oh my gosh. But again, I'm in no position to judge any man. I could never judge any man, but I just got to say, like, the baby doesn't seem like he's got the kind of lifestyle where he's like trying to like be nailed down with a wifey and kids. In fact, what I register and what I read whenever I see him in interviews, red carpet pictures, whatever, he living his best life. Whatever come his way, he taking it. Uh, Baby mama just don't seem like it's gonna fit in that equation. He just don't seem like that dude. And I watched the video several times. He's cool as a fan. He's like, look, make your move, whatever you got to do. I'm recording you for my protection. See, dudes didn't learn how to flip the script these days. You get the wilding out in this house, just stay cool as a fan. Call the boys on you. Because we know how it works. Whoever calls the boys first, the other one goes to jail. Right. And I don't think there was any allegation of physical abuse or anything like that. I think they got into an argument. She started escalating, and then he asked her to leave. And I'm thinking to myself, is that a manly thing to do? Again, we don't know the circumstances. Like, let's just say if she had threatened his life or something like that, you might ask a woman to leave under those circumstances. I get it. She out here threatening your life, or she about to threaten your property or something like this. I'm gonna break it. You know how some women can be. She know you got expensive stuff. Oh, she gonna tear it all up. It's some women like that. I'm gonna play this for you. Now, this is gonna just be the first clip is just gonna be about 40 seconds or so. I'm gonna play this for you. Okay. But I got the rest of the clips that are much longer, and it includes when the police were called to the situation. Anybody hit the Danny Lay? She's all right. I've come across a couple of videos like, okay, sis got talent. She got talent. She did an interview with the Breakfast Club many years ago, a couple year and a half ago, something like that, talking about her choreography and her connections to Prince. Light skin. She ain't bad. She ain't bad to look at. Sis got it going on. And now she's got a 3-month-old by the baby. You got a baby by the baby. It's just something about that don't even make no goddamn sense. But, you can't tell women what to do these days with their bodies. It was all good. Then she posted something, and again, excuse my language. What time is it? Oh, yeah. Your kids should be, if your kids are not in school, they are incorrigible. They smoking, they drinking, they twerking, skipping school. So hearing me say a few things ain't no big deal. Unless they overslept. They're going to get this anyway. Unless they overslept. But again, I'm not saying this is like, I know people going to say, we should be talking about Ahmaud Arbery. No, we should be not talking about Ahmaud Arbery. What we should be doing is learning from these scenarios across. Let me just say it right now because I know how people are. What we should be doing is learning from these scenarios, these various stories that are happening across the country, and then localizing it, putting action in place wherever you live. So give me some latitude on this, okay? I'm going to play this for you. Now, there is extreme language. You can hear the N words, all the words. So just get ready for it. You ready? All right, check this out.
In my motherfucking hand. What a fucking coward. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Yeah, I'm fucking live. He got the fucking phone in his hand. Look at that shit.
There you go.
Yeah, there I go.
Do
Do my thing. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Bitch, it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, whatever, bitch. Shut
You
the
want
fuck
your,
up. Yeah, you want to record me talking about shut the fuck up.
I gotta record you for my sake.
Yeah,
You
go
ain't
ahead.
finna
It's
do
the
me
first
that.
thing.
You ain't finna burn
Fuck
the
that
black man
shit.
down.
It's
Get
the
your
first-
phone. I mean, close it
Take
first. You think?
Baby, the first time.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like this.
No. Go with your move, crazy girl.
Whatever.
You started your shit.
Yeah, whatever.
See, that's somebody that understands the system. Go with your move, baby girl. He cool as a fan on the video. That's going to be admissible in court potentially. What it's going to show is that she's the one holding the baby. She's the one that's cursing. She's the one that's bringing the toxic stuff to the environment. I'm cool as a fan. Make your move, baby girl. I guess is what happens when you have a baby with the baby. Again, I ain't criticizing that man. I'm sure he's a great father, but like I said, from afar, if somebody asked me, he wouldn't be the number one person that I think you should have a baby with, but that's just me. Seems like he just living his lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Taking whatever comes, you know what I'm saying, including women. She posted something on Instagram talking about more intimate matters, about how he likes to shoot up the club. We'll put it that way. And I'm like, well, sis, you allowed him to shoot up the club. You can't get mad now. What you think was gonna happen? But this is I guess is the order of things. This is the order of things. But I'm just trying to think though. I, you got a 3-month-old with this woman. She's staying in your apartment. What would make a man throw a woman out with the baby? It would have to be, she would have to say some violent stuff. I would have to think that she posed harm to me. Um, I mean, you could say the property, but there's insurance for that. I'm sure he's got insurance on everything in that spot. So if she goes crazy with it, he probably gonna get paid more than he paid for it. Gary all knew everything. So it would have to be that she posed like some kind of great bodily harm to me, or maybe even herself or our child or something like that. Other than that, we get into an argument. Let's say it's a huge argument. You got a 3-month-old. You got my 3-month-old. I'm not throwing my mother and my child out. I'm like, look, let's just cool off. I'm gonna leave. You go to your side of the penthouse or whatever the suite is. I'm gonna go to my side of the suite. Let's not talk no more. We can come back together and talk about this later. But I guess I'm just me though. He's the baby. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I ain't got time for this. I got 10 more just like you. Right? I don't get it, man. Is that manly or is that smart? Women been women been doing that to dudes since the beginning of making phone calls to police. Oh, you catch him cheating, or you catch him, you're mad at him, you call the boys on him. You know what I'm saying? You call the boys on them. I know family members have had the boys called on them and they didn't do a little bit of nothing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Of course you cry. You're human, Nathan. You have feelings. That's okay, black man. Oh, I wasn't making no apologies. I mean, I was purposely saying it because a lot of these men get caught up with this fake masculinity thing, thinking that you can't show emotion and still be a man. Shit, that ain't true. That ain't true at all. I don't have no problem with it. I don't have no tears. If I feel like tearing up right now, I cry right in front of you. I don't have no problems with it. It is what it is. Come back when I finish. Let me write. Grief is real, different for everyone. Let it flow. Prayers and condolences. Thank you, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Cleopatra writes, you are correct, Nathan Ivey. No one knows what's on the other side, up or down. I hate when these religious folks try to tell us that they know what's on the other side. I don't listen to none of that. I don't listen to none of that. None of it. I'm like, thank you for your opinion, because that's all it really is an opinion. You don't know. And I think it's a lot of these people out here that's got it dead wrong. They got it dead wrong. Mhm. You can do all kind of dirt and just say, and go to church and apologize, and you getting through. I don't believe that. It's just the thresh from what they talk about heaven. It's too great for the threshold to be that low. You can do whatever you want to do and say, "Gotta forgive me," and you still get to go into the club. And then I'm being disciplined my whole life, not doing these things. And we in the same club? Hell no, there's got to be a VIP. That don't even make sense. How is that fair? How is it? Think about that, Christians. Does that make any sense? You got one person that lives a life of discipline and sacrifice is love on some levels, right? They live their whole life trying to abide by the scriptures. You got other people that do what they want to do and come back and apologize. I apologize. And I really, really mean it. I really mean it. It's in my heart. And we both get to the same spot in the club? Hell no. That ain't right. That is not right. I don't believe it. Pamela writes, the music gets me every time. I've been to funerals of people I barely knew and cried my eyes out. Yeah, the music got me. I forget what it was. Some song. I'm like, oh my gosh. They're trying to bring it out of me. Okay, let me give you what you want then. Let me give you what you want. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Continue prayers for you and your family. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. In what circumstance, I'm really curious about this. Nikki writes, jealousy. Greed, jealousy, or ego, which has caused more deaths? Greed, she says jealousy. Man, it's I don't know. That's a damn good question right there. I don't know. A man's ego? Woohoo! I bet you the jails are full of people, and the cemetery is full of people that have been killed, murdered, taken out the game over ego. Somebody got in their feelings. It could have been over a woman. Like, fellas, ask yourself, would you kill somebody over your lady? And the answer is absolutely yeah. But let's say that you found out that your woman, your wife, or your girlfriend, your longtime boo was cheating on you, had cheated on you with some Negro, some nigga. Niggas. Is that a murder? Is that a killable offense right there? I don't know. Why would you? It ain't gonna change the damn thing. What's done is done. Now you potentially sitting up in a cell somewhere, right? And what have you gotten? What did you gain out of it? I mean, if a woman choose, that's what she choose. You gotta deal with it. Ego, I bet you ego has killed so many, has led to so many deaths throughout the annals of human history. Jealousy, I bet it has, like, who she thinks she is, who he think he is. Why she got that? Why he got that? I don't like her attitude. Oh, I don't like his attitude, and straight up jealousy and greed. Oh boy. I bet you people have been done dirty for a handful of dollars. And I bet you we know it to be true. Handful of dollars. We ain't even talking about no big money. Big money? Oh my gosh. You CMB, we all we got. Now I got all of it. Just think about it for a second. Greed, jealousy, or ego. Which has caused more deaths? I don't know. And I just started thinking about that with that case that Alpo Martinez. The rumor now, and again, it's just a rumor. I'm kind of spreading it for the purposes of a conversation. But the rumor is that he was killed about a disagreement over a woman. Over a woman. Apparently, he got confronted by a dude that had a relationship with a woman previous to his relationship with her. Now, some of these women are scandalous out here. I'm gonna be honest. Some of these women get the line. They'll tell one dude one thing and tell another dude something else. And I don't know why, and then it may not be the intent, but the impact is it pits these two men against each other. That happens all the time. One dude thinking he the only one, the other dude thinking he the only one. Feelings start getting involved. I understand feelings being involved. I don't understand killing somebody over somebody else's choice. I don't understand that. You're displacing your anger. You're really mad at her, but you love her, so you don't want to do nothing to her. So now you're going to displace it to him because he looked at you wrong and all this other kind of nonsense. Happens every day, right? Charles writes, that could depend on which community you're speaking on because according to the ID channel, it's greed for the others. Is that right? Queen writes, hey, y'all, loving through it all. Absolutely. Thank you. Nikki writes, they told her don't mess with the baby. They did. I saw her on Instagram. She said, I should have listened to the internet. Everybody was telling me not to mess with him. I'm not judging that man at all. I'm in no position to judge another man. And in fact, that's a violation of the man code. You don't judge other men. However, what I would say is from where I am in Cincinnati, Ohio, just looking at pictures and images and the way the brother comes off, if that was my daughter, I would not suggest that she have a child with him. And I don't care how much money he got because he just seems like the kind of dude that's just not in a place for it right now. He living his best life. That's what he seemed like. But you can't tell no woman nothing, man. These women got to learn on their own. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Couldn't nobody in the world tell her that. Probably because he's a big time star. And even though she got her foot in that world as well, his star is bigger than hers. She probably felt good about herself because a man like him gave her some attention and all this other goobly got nonsense that looking back, people just probably think like, why was I doing that? Have a baby by me? Be a millionaire. She be all right. You is so funny for that, right? She'll be all right. Kathy writes, good morning, all. Good morning to you. Brent writes, the manly thing to do is to remove you from some situation, avoid getting caught up in the criminal justice system. Right. I guess he said, I'm going to remove you from the situation. So the baby gets into a verbal altercation with a woman that he's got a 3-month-old with. Her name is Danny Lay. You can look her up. She's an entertainer. She got plenty of videos out there. I'm not sure what exactly. She's an entertainer, put it that way. And basically, he called the police on her and had her escorted from the house. And I'm like, is that the new school way that men should be smart now? And plus he got all kind of like, he got a history, right? He got a history. So, the FBI, rather than looking for white domestic terrorists, that's what they should be looking for, like these insurrectionists and these militia groups that was plotting to kidnap and kill the governors of Michigan and Ohio. Right. Right. That's what they should be doing. We know that the FBI's run around here on the anti-rap patrol, putting rap artists in jail for dumb reasons. So the baby's right on some level to try to protect himself because he's in a different scenario. He already got a history. Everybody know he's got his run-ins with the legal problem, with the legal system. And now this woman talking loud. The last thing you need is for her to call the police. So I'm gonna call the police first. Let them tell my story first. I'm gonna play the game the way they told me to play the game, right? I get it. I get it. Woody Ron writes, wow, I haven't heard that one about Alpo. He should have never went back to Harlem. Is that right? Man, get the freak out, really. Jenny writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Real quick, we're about 30 minutes in. Perfect time for us to take a quick break for the show. Really appreciate you and get a word in for our sponsor. Now, if you have never heard of this organization and this real movement, the Ohio State of Emergency, check out this and then visit their website sometime today. Check this out.
Can't sleep.
It's hard to pay attention in school.
I say mean things.
I keep getting in trouble.
I bully other kids.
I'm just scared.
No one sees my pain.
Sometimes I want to die.
So many of our children are facing trauma, but instead of seeing their pain and fear, we're labeling them bad, troubled, delinquent, or criminal. Let's look beyond their behaviors. Let's get them the help they need by helping them address the trauma they're facing.
Help me feel safe.
See me for more than my behaviors.
Understand that my actions are how I communicate my fears.
For more information, visit www.ohiostateofemergency.com. That's ohiostateofemergency.com.
That's ohiostateofemergency.com. And our friends over at Renew Community Church are sponsoring those ads. They really support the work that they're doing over at the ohiostateofemergency.com. Tap in today. Just do like a mental bookmark and circle back around sometime today and just visit the website. And you tell me, hit me up with direct message and tell me, or really directly hit them up because they're always looking for good people that can support their cause. Also, the folks over at Renew Community Church, they've got a brand new series. You may or may not be aware of it. They do this every Sunday at 11:45 a.m. You can tap in on Facebook at Cincy Renew. That's CINCI Renew, or Renew Community Church live stream on YouTube. So tap in and maybe pick up some new tools. Brother right there looks like he's going through it. Sis is going through it. Oh, we all been there. We've all been there. We've all been there, bro. We all been there. Good morning to you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hold on, I may put the chat up on the screen here. That way we can get everybody shout in. I came in late. Who has connections to Prince? There's a woman named Danny Lay. Her name is Danny Lay, and she's a recent mother. She's a new mom. And apparently she's having a little bit of an issue with the father of her child, who happens to be a big time entertainer known as The Baby. I'll be honest with you. When I first heard his name, I was like, this is some dumbass ish. That's the first thing I thought of. Like, damn, we scratching the bottom of the barrel. The Baby? But apparently he knew something more than I did. You know what I'm saying? He knew. You got The Baby, Lil Baby. You got some other babies out there. You got Babyface. Okay, I blame Babyface, right? You got all these baby names out there. Okay, but we shall see. We shall see. All I don't know, King. You have to ask Charlie Winburn himself on that. He writes, just curious if the pastor of Renewed Community Church had their congregation vote for Dieters in the election against Fanon Record. I have no idea. I have no idea, brother. Sometimes he's in the room. You got to ask him that, man. Ask him that. Oh, let me play this for you. Let me put the chat down. I'll play it for you one more time. There's extreme language in this. I'm just using this as something to talk about this morning. I want to look at the deeper issues and the implications, perhaps in your own life. I'm going to play this one more time just so you can get a sense of like the drama that took place. There is extreme language. So if you're sensitive to that or you're at work, I'll give you a couple seconds here to turn it down. Okay, roll tape.
Fucking hand. What a fucking coward. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Yeah, I'm fucking live. He got the fucking phone in his hand. Look at that shit.
There you go.
Yeah, there I go.
Do your thing.
Do my thing. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Bitch, it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, whatever, bitch. Shut
You
the
want
fuck
your
up.
thing?
Yeah, you want to record me talking about shut the fuck up.
I gotta record you for my safety.
Yeah,
You
go
ain't
ahead.
finna
This
do
the
me
first
that.
thing.
You ain't finna burn the
Fuck that
black
shit.
man
This
down.
the
Get your
first-
phone. Come here, close your
Take
first. You
Fuck you,
think?
baby, the first time.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like this.
Nah. Go with your move,
Yeah,
crazy
whatever,
girl.
stupid ass.
Yeah, you started your shit.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, not a good look. You ever had that kind of interaction before? Not a good look. Not a good look. I feel for sis. You know, she got this 3-month-old. She's cradling. You could tell she's all in her feelings. She's probably hurt. You know, gave your body to this man, and now you're connected with him with a child. It's a deep situation, man. I think the easiest thing to say, the low hanging fruit is don't have babies with men out of wedlock. That's the low hanging fruit, right? That's the first thing that people are gonna say about it, and I guess that's fair on some levels. But deeper than that, though, I'm just looking at his actions. Like, is that a manly thing to do? Is that like the new manly thing to do? It's your house, so you're gonna kick her out. I could see getting into an argument with a woman. Let's say we just kicking it, and we get into an argument, and she just tripping, and she just won't stop tripping. I can see asking her to leave your house. I can see that totally, just off the verbal part of it, just off the verbal tip of it. But we got 3-month-old. You know what I'm saying? We decided that we was gonna be parents in this life together on some level. To me, that would just afford her a different level of understanding, right? That's just me. And then you got my child. I can't have my child distressed in these kind of situations. You know, the first couple years, 3, 4, 5 years of a baby's life is very, very important. That energy that they pull in and they feel, it means everything. I can't have my child out here going through something like that. I don't know. I don't know the details on it, but a part of me is feeling like that's kind of weak on the baby's part. Now, we might get some more information that gives us like a different way of looking at it. And then I reserve the right to change my opinion, right? I reserve the right to change my opinion. But I think as I sit here right now, I'm like, what could she have done that would make him kick her and your 3-month-old out of your house? I don't know, man. That's just me. But give me your thoughts on the matter. 513-873-7134. Charles writes, we are multifaceted beings. We can speak on the situation with Danny Bai and the Aubrey case, right? Michael writes, he needs to put in an order of protection on her. Damn. Really? A protection order? Yeah. Shannon writes, you're holding your baby. Ain't that much mad? What does that mean? What do you mean you're holding your baby? Ain't that much mad? Sounds like she about to lose the bag and she disgust. Billy writes, Nate, I feel the brother was cool with this move. He recorded her and called 12 instead of letting it get physical and being called the bad guy. If he had hit her instead, it would have been different. Calling 12 was right. Back ain't cheating. You don't want to see her get hit, so that's the best move. I mean, damn, we didn't jump to getting hit, Billy. What? I guess I'm different, man. I'm different. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is just me. You do you. But if I'm dealing with my baby, the mother of my child, I'm gonna give her a lot more latitude than I would just some stranger. I'm not gonna react the same way to her as I would a stranger, because she's not a stranger to me, and she's the mother of my child, not her child with somebody else. She's a mother of my child. That's different, right? And okay, let's say she get the swinging hands. Come on, man. We stronger and in some cases faster than women. You just grab the hands, push her off for you, and leave. Simple as that. That's all you got to do. Now I can see if she did that, and you want to call the boys and say, "Look, she put her hands on me." Okay, that could be a scenario, especially if you already got other legal issues that's following you and things like that. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. But I mean, I can afford to eat a few from the mother of my child if she in her feelings. I could take a couple before, we're going to grab them little hands and then you remove myself or remove you from the situation. Who are these sensitive ass men who, not talking about you, Billy, but I've seen this in other cases. These sensitive ass men that's going to react to a woman the same way you react to a man. Maybe I'm different, but I don't do that. I just don't look at a woman as the same way I look at a man. A woman is not the same physical threat, if you want to use that term, to me as a man would be. I would look at that, depending on who she is, I'm gonna look at that completely different. That's just me. Maybe I'm just different. I know I'm on some bull-ish. I know. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning. Brent writes, why are you giving your newborn all the negative energy? The baby should kept his commentary to himself, because all he is doing is escalating the situation further. Yeah, maybe. Michael writes, he can afford it. Guess so. Anthony writes, it all comes down to making better choices in who you lay with. Yeah, but you know what? Two things about that. You're right about it, Anthony, in hindsight. But I don't think any woman or man, let's take it from a woman's standpoint. I don't think any woman decides, like, not, a lot of these women having sex ain't planning on getting pregnant. They don't plan on getting pregnant. That's the last thing they want to do is get pregnant. But then they get pregnant and then their Christian values kick in. I don't want to kill my baby, I've heard women say before. And that's how you look at it. That's how you look at it. So now the morality and the spirituality kicks in, right? Because I don't want to commit this great offense. Okay. Meanwhile, you was doing all kind of things with this dude out of wedlock. To me, it don't make a lot of sense, but if that's the way you live your life, I've learned to accept the way other people live their life. That don't make no sense to me. But okay. Now you want to talk about Jesus? Okay. Now the baby's on the way, and now you got to try to make sense of it with this dude that you may not really know well enough. He flip on you. He don't got nothing to do with you no more. I mean, that's a tough spot. That's a real tough spot. I don't think any woman would choose to have sex with a dude if they knew in their head that this is what he might do if they get pregnant. If she gets pregnant. But, that kind of ish happen every day. It happen every day. Brandy writes, that's sad that baby is in the middle of that foolishness. I agree with you. The baby's like, I just want some milk. I just want some milk, ma. Tony writes, here we go. Open the window for all the social media to see. Is the baby which one kills someone and which one hangs with James Harden? Yes. No, Lil Baby hangs with James Harden. The baby killed somebody in Walmart, and it looks like it was self-defense. He had to do what he had to do. Michael writes, man, put her ass out. So that's you, Mike. So you the man, you all pro kicking a woman out with a baby though, Michael? I don't know, man. Call me soft then. I'm gonna have to be soft. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing it. I just can't see myself doing that. And it's less about her, although it's kind of about her. It's about my child. I ain't gonna have my child out here, and I'm the baby. I got millions or hundreds of thousands. Go ahead and stay here. I go get me a hotel. Go ahead and stay here. You got it. You cool. I'm gonna make sure that my child is cool, to start out with. And I want her to be cool too, because she's the primary caregiver of my child. But again, you never know what the argument was about. You never know how things started and things like that. Maurice writes, she goes, the baby would stay. Now you got a problem on your hands. Because you know damn well that that woman is not leaving her child under no circumstances. 3 months? Ain't no woman doing that. Boy, you got a better hand, you got a better chance of picking up Thor's hammer than you do separating a mother from her child in a situation like that. Well, just keep the baby, sis. You tripping, and I got our 3-month-old. Ain't no woman doing that. You got a better chance of wrestling the infinity gauntlet from Thanos' fingers, from his grasp, than you do trying to separate a mother from her child in a situation like that. It ain't happening, boss. It ain't happening. Get that up. Cass writes, she didn't want nobody in her business when she was creeping around, and she didn't want to say who the father of the child was. His behavior isn't new. She thought her baby would change him. Yeah, that's always a sad thing. I don't know what women be thinking about. Again, Il Nana is a beautiful creation. And all the women right now, God bless you with something very beautiful. Very beautiful. It is possible of bringing a lot of pleasure. A lot of pleasure. But there's more women than men on the planet. So is it a premium? It depends. It depends on the lady and how she conduct herself. Kind of, sort of, but maybe not really. It depends on the dude. To the baby, to a regular Joe, a woman like Danny Lay is the best you ever probably gonna get, at least in his mind. I can see men thinking that, like, oh, she's like this big time somebody, and she got videos, and she light skinned, she got good hair, she pretty and all that. But to the baby, she just a regular degular. I mean, I'm sure he got all kinds of women all over the globe, like every flavor you can imagine. That's lining up to do whatever he want to do, just like that. So if that's who you are, Il Nana is nothing to you. It ain't nothing at all. He ain't got to even put no effort into it. And he probably got dimes, gorgeous women that'll do whatever he want to do. So if she start tripping, it's kind of like, I mean, it's like a bag of Skittles, right? And I don't eat candy anymore, but I used to enjoy Skittles back in the day. I love Skittles. You ever get like, and this never really happened, but I'm just trying to make an example here for a guy like the baby dealing with women. It's like a bag of Skittles. You know, you open up the bag and one don't look right, you throw that motherfucker away and keep on. You got a whole nother bag. You don't ever think anything out. It's like getting a bag chip. You know, you look inside and you get a chip. It's like, oh man, it's all black. You just throw that on, go away. And you put your hand right back in the bag. And you got thousands more chips. You don't even remember it. And that's probably, I can see how a man like that would view women in general. But he seems like that. Not to say anything negative about that brother, because I never betrayed a man code. I am a man first and foremost. I never betrayed a man code. But so I'm not here to talk down another brother in a scenario right like this. But from afar, he seems like he got 2 or 3 big bags of Skittles. He just eat. Oh, I'm gonna give me a pink Skittle today. Oh, it's a purple Skittle. Oh, the blue Skittles. Oh, I love the green Skittles. That's just how it is for those kind of men. But those kind of men are gonna always draw and attract a whole lot of women. You know, he famous, he rich, he's all these people want his time and attention. Now he giving it to you. I get it. I understand. So that ain't happening, Maurice. Ladies, you ain't gonna never leave your 3-month-old in no situation like that with his father. Man, please. You got a better chance of conjuring up a spell and reanimating the dead than you do separating that woman from her child in that situation. Cass writes, I think I read that already. Good morning to you. Yo writes, absolutely. Now, why are we talking about this? Because people say we should be talking about Black Wall Street and whatever the fuck which one other stuff. We talk about just because, and I'm getting back to my roots. This show is about people, politics, and pleasure. And we go hard with the politics. We go hard with the politics. And I want to go just as hard with the people and the pleasure. Okay. At my core, I am a people watcher. I love human beings. I love us. And I love Black people. You already know it. And they are fascinating. Human beings are fascinating to me. I can't get enough of the internet, man. I can't get enough of observing human beings. I love to watch people. Love it, love it, love it. The wifey and I, how many people watchers out there? You like to just go out and just watch people, how they dress, how they interact, how they dance, how they mate, how they relate, all that kind of stuff. I'm into all of that. And this shows a reflection of it. I'm a big believer that sometimes you get situations like this, and there's things that happen that we can pull back and maybe learn something or have a useful discussion because there's parts of it that touch our life. And a lot of us have children. Maybe some of us are baby mamas and baby daddies. Nothing wrong with that. You might have had like a little dust up with the father or the mother of your children. So maybe you can relate on that levels. As a man, I like to talk about things from a man's standpoint. I'm talking about this. To me, I'm trying to figure out what's a scenario in which you're going to kick the mother of your 3-month-old out of your apartment. I don't see that. To me, there's only one. She's violent. If she want to go tear up stuff and break walls, sure, I'm upset about it. But if I'm not the baby and everything's insured. You want to come in here and tear up some stuff up? I don't want you to, but it's all going to be replaced. We can get more books. We can get more microphones. We can get another computer. All these trinkets, man. It's just trinkets. It's that human relationship, that human element that I think is far more valuable to me. But that's just me. David writes, it could be that she was posing a law enforcement threat, trying to kick him, trying to trick him into an altercation. That could be. That's the other thing I thought of. Either she's being violent or the baby's already got a history. He's had legal issues and run-ins, gun charges, things like that. He's trying to keep his nose clean, right? Allegedly he beat up a promoter down south. So he's trying to keep his nose clean. He's trying to stay out the lockup, where they steal money from black people, right? Lock you up, you got to pay this, got to pay this, got to pay this, got to pay this, got to pay this. You're off of work, you're losing money there. It's just a big money trap. That's all it is. They love to take money from our community legally. Anyway, that's why you got to keep your nose clean. So maybe he did the right thing. Maybe it was an overreaction, but he like, shit, man, I ain't letting her get me jammed up. Shawty, I ain't letting that happen. So maybe he's right about that. Susan writes, a friend man would have simply left himself and gave her notice to leave. I could see myself doing that. Call me soft. I could see myself doing that. In that scenario, and you talking about the mother of my children now, it's bigger than me. I got to think about the kids. I might despise her, and I never want to feel like that. Like if I had a child with a woman, like I don't want to despise her. I don't want that. But still, I feel like a certain level of manliness you could bring to the game. But let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. How you doing on this beautiful manic Monday, sir?
I'm doing excellent. Drop. Welcome to the show, brother.
Man, I was waiting for an opportunity to get in the show and talk about my number one topic, which is my president, Joe Biden. And I can't, Mr. Ivey, I get what you're doing. This is your show, but the level of concern that you have for this current president compared to your level of concern with the last president is kind of it's concerning for me.
Really?
Because it seems like you don't care about your government anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you, a lot of other people in black media held the last president's feet to the fire. They were critical of everything he did, which obviously is necessary. But this president is, it's almost embarrassing. Mr. Ivey, have you seen the latest polls? Because I didn't get a chance to call in on Friday. Well, I did, but
I have not.
There were some issues. Well, there's a new ABC Washington Post poll that came out on Sunday. But I'm going to give you the Real Clear Politics average of polls. President Biden, the 46th president of the United States, his overall approval is 42%. His approval on the economy is 38.6. His approval on immigration, 29.4%. His approval for foreign policy, 37.1%. His approval for handling the COVID-19 crisis, 47.2%. And the last one, the direction of the country, 62.3% of the American people feel that our country, under the leadership of Joseph R. Biden, is headed in the wrong direction. Now, if you look at the ABC Washington Post poll, which is the most recent, it is worse. Mr. Ivey, how can you not cover these numbers, Mr. Ivey? 38% on the economy, 29% on immigration, and you know the caravan is about 2 or 3 weeks away, and they're estimating upwards of 4,000 to 20,000 people heading toward the U.S. border. So today, maybe today, when they have the signing service, the signing ceremony in the Rose Garden, which has finally happened after 10 days, Mr. Ivey, the president had the infrastructure bill sitting on his desk for 10 days while his Democrats and some Republicans were overseas at the climate conference. I thought the bill was so important for the American people and the legacy of the president, but he waits 10 days and then he gets these poll numbers after the bill was passed. Mr. Ivey, I would just like to hear what's your opinion of our current president and how do you feel about the signing ceremony today and the fight that's about to ensue across the country for cities like Cincinnati fighting over that money. Where's our cut? How much do we get? How much is going to go to Black business contractors? Mr. Ivey, this is one of the worst presidencies I've seen in my lifetime. And I'm 61 years old. And I go back to Ronald Reagan. So again, Mr. Ivey, I would really love to hear your opinion if you get a chance to give it after you talk about the baby and some more crazy stuff. But hey, it's your show. But anyway, thank you, Mr. Ivey, for giving me the opportunity to keep the American people and the listeners of the Nathan Ivey Show abreast to what's going on in Washington, D.C. Because it seems like there are not a lot of people who support President Biden who are on your show, calling in or writing in the chat how great the president is doing. Because from the way I see it, Biden remorse is starting to set in. And don't get me started on our Vice President, Kamala, I'm Black Y'all Harris. So that's all I got, sir. What? Oh, Mr. Ivey. It's, again, her polling numbers are in the 20s, Mr. Ivey. In the 20s. And again, she just can't say stuff right. She was overseas in France talking about the border over there, but doesn't talk about the border in Texas. So again, her numbers are worse than Joe Biden's. Joe Biden's wife that has a problem with Kamala, and it goes way back to the Democrat primary. People know, and they already see that she's not going to be the savior for the party in 2024. So let them have their spike the football moment today, and there are going to be some Republicans there. So I can't wait to see how that unfolds, because it's clear he would not be signing this bill today if not for 13 Republicans, because 6 members of the squad plus 2 did not sign or did not vote yes on the infrastructure bill 10 days ago. So that's all I got, Mr. Ivey. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the science that just got dropped by me, Black Not Democrat. Peace out, everybody.
Sorry about that. I get this feeling, Drop, if you're still listening, that you are taking a lot of delight in these poll numbers. I get the feeling that No matter what you say about loving the country, you want the country to do bad while Joe Biden is in office, so that now it validates your Republican principles. We shall see. But to answer your question, I would say that Joe Biden walked into a job that we already knew was going to be difficult. Am I surprised by what I'm seeing? On some levels, yes, and some levels, no. Like, I'm not surprised that the Republicans are still playing the obstructionist party, because that's the playbook that they've been working with since they always did this when a Democrat became president. So Joe Biden wasn't going to get anything different. Doesn't surprise me. I am surprised by the disappearance act of Kamala Harris. I am surprised by that. I thought that she would be a little bit different in terms of her voice and what she was bringing to the presidential ticket. But we shall see. And I'll tell you one thing, I won't be surprised if it has an impact on the midterm elections or 2024 at all. I won't be surprised by that. What's this here? Okay. Oh, okay. Something happening with the local vote here. Good morning to you. TNT writes, I was watching a show with a gruesome serial killer, and he said with such a cool cavalier attitude that he was asked God forgiveness and has been cleansed of his sins. After gruesomely killing so many people, what Christians can argue that he is not? Right. And he's gonna get to the same part of heaven as the people that didn't murder and kill people. That just don't make any sense to me. I know you ain't supposed to have faith and all that kind of stuff, but that don't make any sense. You get somebody that do all kind of gruesome killings and things like that. Maybe they kill some children or something like that. But then they bring Jesus Christ into their heart and profess their sins. And they get to the same heaven as the person that didn't commit those crimes and lived a life of sacrifice. I don't believe it. I'm not even sure I ever want to be there. Is that the kind of heaven I want to be in? That don't seem like an equitable heaven to me, but what do I know? Gladys writes, my son was killed for greed, but the jealousy went along with it. Is that right? Damn, that's terrible to hear, Gladys. Condolences to you. Greed, jealousy, ego. Telling you. It's amazing how people are killed because money is so important to lifestyle. And some people fantasize about that lifestyle, being the man, having the new clothes, pulling up in the new whip, everything that comes with it, the girls, the way men look at you when you walk into the room, if you dressed a certain way and all this kind of stuff. It's people that take you out the game for that. Jealousy is a hell of an emotion, man. Jealousy, everybody's been jealous. I mean, when I was growing up, we didn't have a whole lot of food. We didn't have a whole lot of anything. And that meant we didn't have a whole lot of money for clothes. And then growing up during the explosion of the hip hop culture, you wanted to dress like, I wanted to dress like the fat boys with the fat laces. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to dress like Rakim. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to dress like LL Cool J. We couldn't afford that. So I remember going to school with kids whose parents had that, and as a child, you process it differently. You're like, oh, this child has it. No, that just means their mama and daddy have it and are able to give it to them. But I definitely felt that when I was younger. When I got old enough to buy my own shit and work hard for it or do whatever I had to do for it, I could do what I wanted to do then. You know what I'm saying? It was all good. Michael writes, he gave her more than attention. Is that right? Anthony writes, don't go for the sparkly over substance. Jada writes, allegedly he has his other baby mother pregnant as well. Just crazy. Well, he is the baby. He is the baby. Like I said, I mean, a man in his position, in the baby's position, what did Chris Rock say? Chris Rock said typically men are only as faithful as their options. Now, that's not always true. There are plenty of men out there that's got multiple options. They just make a choice to do what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be a man in modern day society, for me, this is just me personally, there's two things that you gotta, and I'll say this before I say it again. There's two things that you have to control. That is your emotions and your penis. Your emotions and your penis. very difficult to control in some cases, but your emotions and your penis. You know what I'm saying? Your penis don't make a damn decision. You make the decision. You know what I'm saying? And ego will lead a man in the wrong direction. I say damn near 99% of moves that most men make, especially when they're younger, is over ego. I know this. I'll be honest with you. When I went to college, I wasn't thinking about no damn degree at all. All my homies was on their way to college, and it sounded like it was such a good place to be. And then that's where the women were. I went to college for women. That's why I went to college. I don't want to think about no damn degree. Psh, man, please. I had to keep my grades up because it kept me where I wanted to be, and I wanted to be on the campus because that's where the women were. Real simple. You know what I'm saying? Buying clothes. Everything I did was about some women when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Why are you working out? I'm working out because I want to look good for the women. That's why. I want to get these clothes because women like these clothes. You know what I'm saying? I want to dress like Jodeci. You know what I'm saying? Because women like Jodeci. I ain't no different. That's most men when they're younger. Let's go to the phones and welcome in Glenn. What up, Glenn? Good morning to you.
What's up, man? So that's why you went to school?
Yeah.
I thought about it, Nate. That was a large percentage too while I was down at Kentucky State. I was away from home for the first time. Didn't have mom and dad on me telling me to wake up. You know, and I could party a little bit. What's going on, man?
I'm doing
How you
well.
doing?
I'm doing well. Welcome
back. You know, I hate to break the monotony, but break up your topic. But I had to call in after hearing Drop call in. And you know what's amazing, Nate? I agree with you about Kamala, but let me ask you, Nate, are we to the point to where we're going to build a gallows and we're going to sing, hang Kamala Harris? Are we at that point yet?
No.
Okay, so we're not at the point to where you can get thousands of people that are talking about hang Mike Pence at this point. Kamala hasn't reached that point yet.
No, she hasn't.
See, Drop didn't talk about that. And again, it's going back to what was talked about last week. Remember when he called in and he tried to do it a little bit today, talking about the 13 Republicans that voted along with the Democrats for the Build Back Better plan? Did you hear what's happening to those 13 Republicans, Nate?
I did not know.
Drop didn't tell you that either, did he? Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene, King Karen, she decided that she was going to tweet out those 13 Republican members and their phone numbers, Nate. So you know what happened, don't you? They've been playing those death threats, voicemails all weekend long. Drop didn't tell you that, did he?
No.
Yeah. So now those 13 Republicans, they're seen as traitors. And not just among Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is all out among the right-wing ecosphere. You know, they saying it on right-wing radio, they're traitors, Nate, like as if they don't have a Brent Spence bridge that needs to be fixed in their community. But that's where the Republican Party is right now. You know what else is happening today? Dun, 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 dun. Drop didn't tell you about that either, Nate. Steve Bannon is turning himself in today. You know why? Because he was found in contempt because he decided to ignore the subpoena. Drop didn't tell you about that either. And what's going to happen, Nate, is that now that they're kind of dropping this hammer on, because, we're kind of like, hey, Merrick Garland, what the hell are you doing? If this was a Trump AG, they would have put him in jail by now. Well, apparently this is going to be the impetus to where the Mark Meadows and, guess who else is on the indictment and subpoena list? Oh, Katrina Pearson. You remember Katrina, don't you?
Yeah.
Remember she never did chase back Ice Cube. We never did hear about the Gucci Gang platinum plan, have we, Nate? Whatever happened to that? Drop didn't tell you about that either, did he? Given the Republicans and the fact that they were going to call it the freaking platinum plan, why didn't they call it the hottie sauce plan? Why didn't they call it, the baby, get your mama out the bed breastfeeding plan? Trying to appeal to everybody. Drop didn't tell you about that either, did he? I mean, it's amazing. Drop, see, this is why Drop keeps running like a Mitch McConnell when he doesn't want to have a debate, because all these things were happening when Drop was out there parading. If it wasn't for those 13 Republicans, they wouldn't have a Build Back Better plan. Now those 13 Republicans are running for the hills. And did you hear the latest news locally? There was a Republican judge that did what? He switched over to the Democratic Party. Did you hear about that either? That too, Nate.
Right.
Look at Jason Williams got an article in the Cincinnati Enquirer. Yeah. And of course, if you read the comments, they sound like Drop. only whiter. I mean, it's amazing. So as much as we love to talk about the desperate Democrats, you know, we're not sending out death threats internally from other party members to the squad because they didn't vote. Those sick. And by the way, I'm a Cori Bush fan, so I know why she did what she did, because they need more assurances from the Joe Manchins of the world. But drop, and I know you're out there listening, anything that Joe Biden signs 10 days later, Nate, is 4 years better than Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Am I right or wrong, Nate?
Sounds correct to me.
Remember, right. Any dollar that they're going to spend when he signs this bill eventually will be $1 more than the Republican Party ever submitted. Am I lying or flying, Nate? I mean, see, Drop, it's not that hard, Drop, to understand. So come on, man. Step up to the microphone. Let's debate this out in front of the choppers that you claim to want to inform so well, and just give the people the truth. Now, I got to get to work, man. You know how it is. Hopefully, in the end, they getting what I'm spitting. Petty peace.
Appreciate the call. We'll go ahead and wrap him. He said petty peace. It's hilarious. Since he brought that up, I am aware of it. It's Tom Heekin. Tom Heekin. And he is switching from being a Republican to a Democrat. He said he met with the Democrat Party and is seeking the Democrat Party endorsement to be reelected to the Common Pleas Court. And quote, it was a big honor. I felt like I was surrounded by friends. Apparently, he met with party leaders on Thursday. And when asked about it, he said that his values align more with the Democrats' focus on finding alternative solutions to jailing certain offenders, that locking everybody up for everything isn't going to work. And on some levels, man, that seems like a swipe at Joe Dieters, who, as I understand, on his Facebook page has been calling out primarily Democrat judges, saying that they have been giving too low pretrial bonds and that people are getting out and then reoffending. So you got two mentalities. One mentality is lock everybody up for as long as possible and then sit on your porch with your shotgun and pray everything's going to be okay. But if locking people up for a long time is going to work, it would have already worked. That don't work. You can't lock up your way and clean up the crime problem in Cincinnati, because if it was possible, it would have already happened. That's very, very interesting. But why is Tom Heekin doing this? Is Tom Heekin looking at, see, the Democrats just won big. They won big in the last election. So is Tom Heekin looking at this thinking, my best way to stay in as a judge is to get this Democrat endorsement because they seem to have the juice right now? Or was it really that he just got a different view on the way things should be done that no longer aligns with the Republican Party? Well, that's interesting. I wonder how Alex Triantafilou feels about this. You know, he's the Humboldt County chairman. Don't know. Judge Heekin is a long-term friend. Here's a quote attributed to Alex Triantafilou. I understand his concerns and I respect his decision. We wish him well. He said, my job is to support Republicans. We're going to move forward. That's it. It's interesting. What is this all about? Interesting. Is this somebody who could run as a Democrat and challenge Joe Dieters? Is that what we're looking at here? I don't know. Well, interesting. Keep our eyes on that. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Anthony writes, question, did she actually live with him or have her own spot? That's his spot. They were living together. They've been living together since she brought the baby home, as I understand it. Kimiki writes, he could have just not hit her and not called the police. Sheesh, right. Billy writes, hold up, Nate. It's not manly to hit her. It's not manly to put her out. You can't leave us men out here with no options other than shut up and leave her in your spot. No, get out. If she were putting him out, we'd be like, it's okay. I think him leaving is a real, I mean, she got your 3-month-old. Like, really, what kind of man, you get into it with the mother of your child. You got a 3-month-old. She got a 3-month-old baby. You get into it with her, right? You gonna pit her out with your baby? Come on, yo.
Whatever, bitch. Shut the fuck up.
You gonna put her out with the baby? And she nursing your child? Come on, that ain't the manly thing to do, Billy. The manly thing to do would be just to leave. Let her stay there. You know, come back in a day or two, over the weekend, a week. Give her some time to cool off. You cool off, you come back. I mean, it ain't like you losing anything. And you know, you allow your child to be with her mother in a safe space. She ain't all stressed out because she gotta find a new spot to go and grab stuff and grab
Fucking
Pampers.
coward. Look at that shit.
Come on, man. And you was all in love with her when you was all in love with her. You know what I'm saying? Everything was love when everything was love. So I don't know. I don't know. Again, we just talking about other people's scenarios. We signifying a little bit. We don't know all the details. I'm completely signifying. I'm at other people's business. I admit it. But this is the internet and this is what we do sometimes. So Tony writes, only one reason why she getting evicted that I can think of. Really, what's that? The gravy train is on the way out. Oh, okay. You think it's all about the gravy train? I mean, sure, when a woman has a child with a man, it's better for her and the child if he's got some money. He's got something to take care of the kid. But she seems like, from what I know about this Danny Lay, she seems to be a sister that's doing her own thing. She probably don't need it. Brenda writes, looks like all three need a pacifier, really. Queen Maxine writes, these narcissistic men would trade their woman, baby mama, wife in a heartbeat with no rational thoughts. And same with the narcissistic women. We better know who you're dealing with. TNT writes, what she done was had a baby with a man baby. Arrested development is real. Even a fool can have talent, but it don't mean stupidity has left the building. She had a baby with a man. With a man baby. You know, man, it is so many grown men out here that is like children. Oh my God, it is so real. Jerica's in the house. She writes, hola, beautiful black people, and the others too. I can't wait to hear what Jerica got to say. I can't wait to hear it. Tony writes, a woman may not be a physical threat to a man, but an airborne iron is. I know. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Hey, good to see you, Renee, as always. Shannon writes, ain't that much mad equals there's nothing that he could have said or that was that important to stress my baby out or have them hearing and developing PTSD over all this yelling and negativity. Tiffany writes, they better stock up on Plan B. See, y'all wrong for that. Y'all wrong. Make it make sense. That's TNT. Angela writes, they have them kids thinking they're going to change a man and they need to learn it's not going to. Yeah, the kid don't change. It could. It depends on the man. It depends on the man. It really depends on the man and where he is in his life. Nat writes, many of these young celebrities have multiple children and still won't have a problem getting women to have more. We know how this dynamic works. LOL. Yeah, ask your boy. Ask your boy. Jerica writes, if you're having sex without protection, you're planning on getting pregnant. I am as a woman, right? Pretty much. Pretty much. She talked about how he was shooting up the club and everything. She put it on Instagram. It's all over Instagram. I got it. I can show you. I'm like, sis. We don't need to know all of that. I mean, that's y'all business. That's what y'all like to do. That's what y'all like to do. Right ahead. Darlene writes, hey, Nate and the Choppers, good morning to you. Sean writes, these millennials see these guys, these rappers as the gravy train. It ain't just millennials, man. It's been gold diggers and gravy train riders since the beginning of mankind. That ain't nothing. I ain't gonna put that on the neck of the millennials now. TNT writes, she thought she was different than all the rest. Womp, womp, womp. Or womp, womp, womp. Okay. We ain't got no remorse at all. Shannon writes, some see examples and somehow think they special or exempt. They still have kids with these abusers and lames. Then, surprise, when they get the same. Right. Should be. Yeah. Maurice writes, I had to show my youngest child's mother what it felt like calling 15 just for an argument. The white cops tried to make me leave until I pulled out the lease with my name at the head of the household. Ooh, boy. See, they want to take you to jail, huh? Nikki writes, kick out a 3-month-old baby? Right. Who out here kicking out a 3-month-old baby? Amina writes, good morning. Good morning to you. Susan writes, the baby did her and her baby a favor because that was the tone of what was to come one way or another, more than likely. Misery over the duration of the child's upbringing. Yep. Then he moves on with somebody else. Akeem writes, in the words of the Black Lion, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Brenda writes, diaper change. Brian writes, good morning. Good morning to you, Brian. You still here gloating about your little team and everything, little team. Akeem writes, I pray we don't spend this whole podcast on the baby. I'm trying to hear Nate's thoughts on this week's murder trials and Trump affiliation indictments. Nate gonna cut out at 9:30. I don't really plan on talking about the murder trials or Trump's affiliation indictments until there's something really, we get to the end of it, or, big things that are happening in the trial. Like I told you, Akeem, my thing is the way I look at the Ahmaud Arbery situation and the way I look at Kyle Rittenhouse is that no matter where you live in the country, you should be asking yourself, what if that happened where you live? What did that happen where you live? And what are you prepared to do about it? Do you have the infrastructure and the mobilization and the people ready to mobilize if something happens like that? Or what lessons can we learn? If we're upset about the way that they made the jury in the Ahmaud Arbery case, I feel the way we should talk about it is not to talk about just what happened in that case, but to ask ourselves, what about what reforms do we need in Hamilton County? What reforms do we need where you live at? Are they in place? And if not, what are the steps that we need to take to put them in place? You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. I think that's the usefulness in talking about these national stories, is we localize it and we ask ourselves, do we have the things in place in Hamilton County to make sure that if something like that happened in Hamilton County, we don't get an all-white jury? If that's a concern to you. Like, if that's really a concern to you, you got to localize it. Maybe you're in Dayton. Maybe you're in Columbus. Maybe you're in Cleveland. Maybe you're in North Carolina. Maybe you're in Atlanta. Maybe you're in Florida. Maybe you're in New Jersey. Maybe you're in Utah. Maybe you're in Nevada. Maybe you're in California. You should be asking yourself, where I live, could this happen there where I live? And if so, what policies do we need in place to make sure that it doesn't happen? I think that's what the conversation should be. Trump affiliation indictments. I mean, I'm a little over talking about Trump until there's something really, really big to talk about him. Trump is a crook, but I've been saying that since the day before he was elected. He was a crook before he was elected. He was a crook in office. And now that he's not in office, he's still a crook. So on some levels, I got different levels of awareness on all of the news, but I am aware about some things. I'm probably not aware about other things. But feel free to drop a link, and perhaps we'll get to it. If the mama going off like breaking things, yeah, she needs to go. She could cause him or herself and the baby harm. Domestic violence ain't no joke. Record. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, man. When humans are behaving badly and you record them, they absolutely hate it. I'm telling you that right now because I have done it. When humans are behaving badly and you record them, they get all in their feelings. They get real in their feelings. They'll even try to grab your phone, so watch it. But I agreed. I mean, that's a tactic that everybody can use. Susan writes, hell to the no. Akeem writes, the baby shaking my head. Angela writes, color shaming like in the slavery days. Geesh, I'm not sure who's color shaming. Tony writes, call the nearest 5-star hotel, pay 2 weeks worth of rent, pay for a limo and some entourage to escort her and the baby to the place until tempers calm down. He got it. He got the money right. Amina writes, this is a very sad situation for the child, but she definitely picked her own destiny. She was laughing at the previous baby's mama, hinting that he was cheating with her. Also made a song called Yellow Bone, implying he preferred lighter skin over darker skin. Huh? Is that right? Oh, okay. Come on in here, sis. Come on here with the tea. Is that right? Yellow Bone. Looked at really. Wow, that gives me a different lens to look at this. So now you sitting here. I like the way you put that, Amina. She picked her own destiny. So now you sitting here in the same scenario. I don't mean to laugh, but nothing is funnier than the truth. What can I say? That's hilarious. I did not know that. Real quick, let's get a word in from our sponsor before we roll this morning. Today's show is being sponsored by our friends over at Renew Community Church and also our friends over at Ohio. Well, I'll let you look for yourself. Check this out.
Can't sleep.
It's hard to pay attention in school.
I say mean things.
I keep getting in trouble.
I bully other kids.
I'm just scared.
No one sees my pain.
Sometimes I want to die.
So many of our children are facing trauma, but instead of seeing their pain and fear, we're labeling them bad, troubled, delinquent, or criminal. Let's look beyond their behaviors. Let's get them the help they need by helping them address the trauma they're facing.
Help me feel safe.
See me for more than my behaviors.
Understand that my actions are how I communicate my fears.
For more information, visit www.ohiostateofemergency.com. That's ohiostateofemergency.com.
Over at the ohiostateofemergency.com, they support with the good folks are doing over at the Ohio State of Emergency. Or should I say, and I think that was redundant, our friends over at Renew Community Church support what the folks over at the Ohio State of Emergency are doing. So I definitely want you to tap in. ohiostateofemergency.com. Check them out sometime today. If you get a little free time, kind of put this in your mental Rolodex and check them out, especially if you live in the state of Ohio. If you live in Ohio, you got to. It's worth your time. I'll put it that way. You don't have to, but it's worth your time. Also, our friends over at Renew Community Church, they got a series of live streams. They do live streaming every Sunday at 11:45 a.m. They're doing a new series right now. Are the people around you running you crazy? You can learn signs of mental challenges and when to ask for help. It's on Facebook, Cincy Renew, CINCI Renew, and on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. So tap in and check them out. You might pick up some tips that you can put in place for your own life. For your own life. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, that's me. And there it is. There he is, right back into the studio. And here we go again. Let's get back into it. Sharp Rice, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. It's a new week. Have a great one. Good. Absolutely, same to you. Ray Rice, good risings all. Infamous words of Tupac. Be careful who you F with on both sides. Absolutely. Fox writes, rise and shine, young stars. And Angela writes, salutations. Only a few people on Spreaker. A lot of folks have made the exodus, the transition over to the video platforms. We are live on YouTube, Nathan Ivey EY, that's my channel, and also on Spreaker, which is audio, and TuneIn. TuneIn is an audio platform as well, audio only. And if you want to stream the live audio or listen to it, you can do that there. You can also subscribe there. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What? Colorism, right? Okay. All right. I'm with you on that. Let me move my phone, buzzkill. I thought we couldn't hear him. Right. Nakia writes, no, he let you stress about what's going on when you really don't have too much control over it at this point, drop. Okay. Yeah, let him get it out. Dale writes, his approval is still higher than Trump's. Young voters don't care much for him. They like Bernie Sanders. I prefer Bernie Sanders myself. I thought he'd be more of a change agent. Drop thinks he would have been that one Negro not picking cotton if Trump had gotten reelected. Man, he in Cali. He got his weed being mailed to his door. Literally, he's told us. He gets his marijuana mailed to his front door. He walking every day. He retired. He got money. He got checks coming in every month. Drop is living his best life, man. Trust me. He is living his best life. Oh, no, not the caravan again. Mike writes, who's voting on these polls? I never seen them before. He's talking about real clear politics. And I do recommend that website, especially when things are getting heated up politically. You can go there. And if you look at one of their, their menu bar, then you can select on polls. And so what they do is you got all these different people running polls. They just centralize it on one page where you can read all of the polling that's taking place on a daily or weekly basis. And you can go back and look at it. Now, you can go to these individual sites themselves and look at their polling, but real clear politics makes it real easy to find just at one shop. So one site, that's what Drop is looking at for folks that are into that kind of thing. I don't get called for polls too often either. So Dale writes, in 10 months, this is the worst presidency. FOH. Fuck out of here, he writes. I'm with him. Drop is so heavily invested in the demise of Joe Biden. It's just so obvious. He don't really care about the country. All he cares about is Joe Biden looking bad so that whoever the Republicans nominate, Drop's going to vote for him. It don't matter who it is. If the Republicans nominated a chicken sandwich from Popeyes, then Drop would vote for that chicken sandwich for Popeyes for president. Because as much as he talks all that stuff about being off the plantation, he's on the Republican plantation. Hook, line, and sinker. They got that man so far.
It only takes a little bit of white brainwash to activate the coon chip.
And again, I don't use a C word, but I use chip. His chip has been activated. He is a Republican no matter what. He's a foot soldier for the Republicans. You'll never hear him criticize the Republican Party, no matter what they say or do. He's always going to spin it to try to make the Democrats look bad. And that's cool. I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but that's him. Kamiki writes, we don't need your information. She writes, I don't feel remorseful at all. Me either. Got Trump's crazy ass out of there? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But you got two things. Number one is the terrible shape that the country is in as it relates to COVID. And then two, you got one half of the political system that's doing everything they can on every level to slow down, to break down, to tear down anything that Joe Biden might do. Here's what it is. We'll find out. We'll find out. It's interesting how you can be that old and still have no wisdom. Tell Uncle Ruckus to go bleach his skin. So y'all wrong for that. Reverse vitiligo having oh my God. This guy gaslights. Yeah, he does. Yes, he does. Oh man, black not black. Deborah writes, you need a leveling down sound for Drop. Is that right? Ron P writes, polls don't represent the entire American public. They certainly do not. But don't tell Drop that. Don't tell him that. Let's let him think what he wants to think. Because he think he got it all figured out. That's what he thinks. And that's fine. Let him think that. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. If you'd like to share your thoughts this morning. I'm reading that there's going to be a press conference starting at 9:30 a.m. It's starting right now, actually. Let me see. Okay. All right, we can do that. I'm getting a message from Edna Howe. She had a great show this morning or yesterday morning. Hope you get a chance to. What is this? Okay. Hope you got a chance to tap in. Yeah, I won't be there. It'll be at 9:30 this morning. So it's taking place right now. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it somewhere. Maybe I can find it somewhere on Facebook because I'd like to hear what the new mayor-elect has planned. What's going on? Let's see, maybe live streaming or somewhere. Let me see here. Nah. Sorry about this. Nah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. I'll find it later. Daryl writes, disappear. She was in Europe, right? Let me see. Akeem writes, oh, you're surprised by the vice president's disappearing act? Talk about it. Fill us in on her disappearing act, Nate. Okay. I am disappointed about Kamala Harris' silent act strategy also. I think it's an attempt to disassociate herself with the troublesome start that the Biden administration is admittedly off to. Could be. Greg writes, before I tuned into your show today, I was listening to a Howard University student movement who have occupied Blackburn, which is a student activity center. They are protesting against mold in the dorms. I'm aware of that. Absolutely. Nikki writes, jealousy skews people's judgment. It does. Absolutely they are. Marisha writes, good morning. Susan writes, could it be said that ego is a route of both greed and jealousy? It could be. It could be. Yeah, it could be. I could see that. Brian writes, facts. Never had any of the cool stuff at that age. Not in our reach. Got me used to not needing it. Filters over to today. Mm-hmm. Same here. I've learned to get by with very little because I grew up with very little in terms of material things. So yeah, I mean, material things are cool and all, little gadgets here and there, but I don't need it. I don't need it. Okay, appreciate that. Crystal writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. I'm so late, but I'm here. Amen. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good to see everybody. Lemmy writes, King Karen. That was funny. King Karen. King Karen. The baby is live right now. They're on here going back and forth. Are they? Well, hopefully they work it out. Hopefully they work it out. Maybe I'll tap into it tomorrow. Like I said, it's stuff that goes on in these big time celebrities' lives that we can learn from or at least have an interesting conversation about here on the show. What? Joe Dieters is the devil. Okay, I don't know if that's it. I'm not sure he's the devil. Woody writes, Sleepy Joe is still better than your God, Don the Con drip. Oh, absolutely, every day. Absolutely every day. I mean, at least we don't have somebody lying to you and making everything about himself. And yeah, much better. When does Abtab Pureval get inaugurated as Cincinnati mayor? It'll be in January. I'm not sure, like January the 21st, something like that, something around there. Mid-January, he'll be sworn in, as well as the members of city council will all be sworn in, and then that's when they're going to start their job. It starts in January of 2022. All right. Is it the same with the school board? I want to say, I don't know. I don't know if it's the same with the school. Maybe the school board's different, I think. Maybe there's something that happens in December, something like that. Could be. Tom Heekin was my family attorney before he was a judge. I could believe him having more liberal values. When I saw him, he had kind words to say about my family, although that move with Dieters to place a restraining order on the Citizens Complaint Authority process had me looking at him sideways. Well, yeah, I don't know enough. I thought that he was on a panel, and I thought he was on some John Wayne type stuff when I was asking him questions. I think he like shot some shit back to me or something like that. I think it could have been him, but I don't know. We shall see. Makes me wonder, like, why is he doing this now? Is it survival or something else? Maybe it was his own true values. I don't know. Brandy writes, Nate, the dating scene is something. OMG is bad out here. I keep hearing that. Really? I keep hearing that about Cincinnati men in particular. Yeah, I keep hearing it. TNT writes, i.e. Nick Cannon. Leave Nick Cannon alone. That brother's doing big things. Like, it's amazing how he survived. I told you it was going to happen. Everything went back to normal because he makes so much money for Viacom. They let it tone down. He changed his rhetoric. And now he right back to doing the same things he was doing before. Wild and Out, still making money. It makes too much money. It's a popular show. And he got all kinds of shows right back to it, man. That's the way culture works. If you can make money for people, big time money, and you say some dumb ish, even about Jewish folks, and then you repent and say, I apologize, and then have a rabbi on and y'all talk it up and you learn, you can go back to doing whatever you want to do. That's the way it works. Let me see here. Okay, that's my time here. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here this morning. I really appreciate you for tapping into the show. Please like and share today's show. Later on this evening, make sure you tap in for the Echo Chamber podcast with Brother Christian Boykin right here on Facebook. Tap into his conversations. Always interesting, provocative, thought-provoking conversations. Something to plug into this evening. So check us out. All right. On Wednesday, check out Midday's Juice with Ask Ashley. And she got a brand new ebook out as well. You can go to her website and check it out at 3w.ask-ashley.com. Support that sister. And of course, I'll be with you every single day. We'll chop it up. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. Don't forget to tap in on Sundays for the live stream series brought to you by our friends over at Renew Community Church. The people around you running you crazy. You can learn signs of mental challenges and when to ask for help. So have an excellent rest of your day, family. I'll be back and hopefully better than ever with you tomorrow morning. We'll chop it up on everything that's going on. All right. Have a good day. Until next time, I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man.